A brand new vertical retail palace, don't call it a mall, opens at Hudson Yards, New York's biggest, shiniest new multi-billion-dollar development. Will crowds follow? On Friday, the shops and restaurants at Hudson Yards will open, the culmination of more than a decade of planning, strategizing and developing, and New York City will have the newest, shiniest, largest expression of what we used to call a mall. Glide, if you will, up its escalators and you can get a manicure mid-meditation at Sundays or an $800 haircut at Sally Hershberger, dip into a new concept Zara or the first offline store from the e-tailer Mack Weldon or Rolex or Cartier. Spin through the first New York City Neiman Marcus or its kookier neighbor, 4510, a fellow Dallas retailer with outposts in Miami, Aspen, Colo, and the Napa Valley of California. Stay for lunch, chicken fingers at Momofuku's Fuku or high-end Korean inflected cuisine at Momofuku's Kawi, Shake Shack or the newest Thomas Keller restaurant, and a restorative 10-minute siesta in a Provençal-scented aromatherapy room at the Conservatory, a new store offering a little bit of everything including Provençal-scented siestas. Hit Lululemon, Tory Burch and, what the hell, Sephora, and now it's time for dinner. Won't you stay? Hudson Yards hopes you will. If you need, the first Equinox Hotel awaits just outside. Rooms start at $700 a night. The retail center, all 1 million square feet of it, is the shopping, dining, pampering hub of Hudson Yards, the largest wholesale innovation to the New York landscape in years. It is nothing less than a full neighborhood developed by related companies, the mega developers run by the billionaire Stephen M. Ross, in a joint venture with Oxford Properties Group. Related also owns Equinox. Built over 28 acres and atop still active train yards, Hudson Yards runs from 10th Avenue to 12th Avenue, and 30th Street to 34th Street. The Hudson Yards district is zoned as far east as 8th Avenue and as far north at 42nd Street, so it will grow. It includes office towers and residential towers, a new performance space, the Shed, a giant new piece of public art, the Vessel, a public square and garden, and this retail center. Kenneth A. Himmel, the president and chief executive of Related Urban, who oversaw the project, is a veteran developer of mixed-use developments, including Water Tower Place in Chicago, Copley Place in Boston and the Time Warner Center at Columbus Circle in Manhattan. They all pale before the scope and ambition of Hudson Yards. This one, Mr. Himmel said, we knew was the mother of all mothers. When all is said and done, Hudson Yards will be home to L'Oreal and Warner Media and the Tapestry brands, Coach, Kate Spade and more, to Boston Consulting Group and the global investment firm KKR and Point72 Asset Management, Stephen A. Cohen's investment firm. Current listings for available residences at 15 Hudson Yards include a $4.315 million two-bedroom apartment and a $32 million penthouse. The Shed will have diverse programming, including Bjork and Boots Riley. New York Fashion Week is in discussions to move there as well, as soon as September. If the new neighborhood, as Related as marketing the development, were a country, a tour guide chirped a few months back in the company's 360-degree multimedia presentation center, it would have a gross domestic product comparable to Iceland's. At opening, the retail center will be 90% leased, with 100 stores and 25 restaurants, from fast casual to fine dining, hoping to draw customers not only in but up to scale its gleaming heights. A 35,000 square foot Spanish food experience by the chef José Andrés is just outside. When the retail complex is fully open, Related projects that it will see 60,000 visitors per day. It has designed the center for frictionless ease, to float between floors with minimal effort, and slide from well-known brands to first-time bricks and mortar retailers plucked from the direct-to-consumer e-tail boom on its floor of discovery. Still, Mr. Himmel acknowledged, there is always the question, will it work? When you throw a big party, you send out 200 invitations and hope that 150 people come, he said. We think we've cast the net out to thousands and thousands of people who are going to enjoy the project. But you always hold your breath. One reason for that is that malls, vertical retail, in industry parlance, are a tricky and often unsuccessful proposition in New York City, where shopping is typically integrated into the cityscape, on sidewalk thoroughfares like Fifth and Madison Avenues, or shopping districts like Soho or Nolita. Recent years have seen an influx of vertical developments, including Brookfield Place and the Oculus downtown, both of which have struggled. In January, Saks Fifth Avenue, one of Brookfield's anchor tenants, closed its 86,000 square foot women's store after a mere 2 years. Vertical retail and indoor malls are two things New York City has never embraced, said Arthur Maglio, the leader of the Faith Hope Consolo team at Douglas Elliman Real Estate, who had a few clients interested in Hudson Yards spaces. He cautioned, though, that Hudson Yards didn't have a direct parallel to earlier attempts. It's really at the forefront of where malls are heading, he said. On a macro level, the mall at Hudson Yards is pivotal for retail. One of the few successful malls in Manhattan is a related property, the Shops at Columbus Circle at the Time Warner Center, anchored by a Whole Foods and an Equinox gym below street level and tethered to high-end condos above. People said vertical retail wouldn't work in New York, said Weber Hudson, an executive vice president at Related Urban. We were able to prove them wrong. But Related has had to contend with the lingering sense that New York is not a mall town and that Hudson Yards, the fantasy of one developer more or less magicked out of nothingness, is somehow not New York. I used to go to Dubai a lot, said Sally Hirschberger, whose salon is on the ground floor of the complex. This is really Dubai for me, but better, because I can walk there. I don't have to schlep all the way to Dubai to get that kind of energy. That energy is not necessarily a point of pride in a pedestrian's paradise like New York, which has a certain satisfaction in its cheek by jowl mix of glamour and grit. Architectural innovations at Hudson Yards, like the setting back a certain floors, serve specifically to give a sense of streethood. All it takes, Mr. Hudson suggested, is a slight renovation of expectations.